Go. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for taking some time out of your Thursday and jumping on. And thank you, Kim, so much for taking time out of your Wednesday and joining us, because I know that, you know, that last weekend we had our big annual event here for Isogenics in Australia. And we had, you know, someone who's a pretty big deal right now in the network marketing world, Eric Worre, come along and speak to us. So we had 4 hours in the leadership meeting on the Friday for people who are director and above, and we had then he was on main stage to close out the event on Sunday afternoon. And one of the things that Eric wanted everyone to do was to, in the next 72 hours, commit to sending out 100 messages. And I'm pretty sure I then received more than 100 messages from people saying, oh my gosh, like, what am I actually supposed to say in these messages that I send? And of course, then I do an SOS to you, because it's like, Kim, can you help? Because I know that you teach this stuff so much better than me. So thank you so much for being here. And I just, by way of introduction, for those of you who know Kim, I'm pretty sure that you already love her, because she's got that way about her that people usually get a little bit of Kim and then they send me messages and say, oh my gosh, where has she been all my life? But I don't want to talk you up too much, Kim. They can figure that out for themselves. But I wanted to kind of explain to you, like, why take notice of what Kim says. So Kim, and I'll just give a little bit of a summary and then I'll let you go. But Kim's been in network marketing for I think longer than I've been alive, and or close to, and she's been actually to the top in 5 or 6 different companies. So she's been around long enough to see really what works, really what doesn't. She's seen all the fads, she's seen all the companies that come and go, she's seen the ones that go under, she's seen all the crazy ideas that networkers come up with. She's basically been around long enough to see it all, and she's passionate about helping network marketers find a way to create their success in a way that feels good to them, and in a way that doesn't feel awful for everyone else who's not in network marketing, which is really important if we ever want this profession, industry, whatever you want to call it, of network marketing to ever be respected and to ever be something that becomes a little more mainstream. So Kim, I'm going to stop talking and hand over to you. Thank you so much for being here. So appreciate you. You've really been incredible in my life, in my network marketing over the last few years. And thank you. So what on earth are we supposed to say when we send these messages out to people?
Right? Isn't that the big deal, what to say?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
You can hear
right. Yep. Awesome.
Sure that I've got, let me make sure that I have that the audio is coming from the right microphone. No, here, hang on. We want,
we can hear you good.
can you hear me now still?
It was better the other way.
Really? Okay. Hang on. I'll do it the other way.
We
Okay,
can
so I'm talking now. Let me know what's better. There's this, okay?
Yep.
This is the microphone. And then here's the other one. Okay.
Yeah, that one's better.
This one's better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, then this one it is, and heck with the other one. Okay, so I have talked to quite a few of you already about what you think you're supposed to be doing. And so my understanding is that the reason for doing the exercise is to connect with 100 people in the hopes that some of them are going to sign up, right? Isn't that kind of the idea?
Yeah.
Right. And what was it, like 3 stages? The first time you connect with them and say, hey, how are you? How are things? You know, nice to catch up. Is that kind of it?
Yeah. You want to, yep. How's it going? Haven't seen you for a couple of years. Want to meet maybe, and then the next stage.
Right. And then the next stage, what was the next stage supposed to be? I forget. We're not going to be, by the way, any of this. I just want to be sure what you were told.
Yeah,
so that might be different that I.
Where's someone who was there so that someone unmute yourself? Give me a wave if you want to
what was the next piece that
Sarah, there's Sarah. Sarah, Sarah Kavanagh, why don't you unmute yourself and
yeah, sure.
explain? Yeah.
Can you hear me okay? I'm at an athletics ground, so.
Yeah, you're awesome.
There was really just one stage from my perspective. He just said, get used to connecting with people, and so in the next 72 hours, I want you just to connect with 100 people. I don't want you to talk about Isogenics or your business. I just want you to connect with 100 people, find out how they are, and get some conversation and some relationship and connection going.
Is that it, kind of the deal? And
Yeah.
about over how much time are you expected then to get people? When are you supposed to say, guess what? Do you want to do this, or do you want to try my product? At what point are you supposed to do that? Does anybody know?
Actually, he didn't really, from my memory, someone else may remember differently. He didn't. The point of the exercise was just to get used to connecting people with people and building relationships. Not going straight into the jugular and telling them about your business straight away, but just to build connections and relationships. That's what I took from it, and someone else may have taken it differently.
Okay. I think that sounds pretty good. What do you guys think? Is there anybody here who wants to change that or add anything to that?
Did anyone hear any differently? You just wave if you did. So I'm just flicking through the screen.
Yeah, just make sure, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'll just go back again. No one is waving frantically.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Jane. Jane, did you hear? What did you hear, Jane?
I took it as the 100 was sort of the warm-up market. So we're warming up the market before we hit them with the 20 and 30, which was in April, say. That was my...
the 20 and 30. What was that? Hit them with the 20 and 30. What does that mean you're going to do?
Do the enroll 20 and 30 in April.
Okay. And what is the transition from warming them up and seeing how they're doing to signing them up?
I don't think I had that.
Did anybody get that?
Let me see. Let me just flick through the screen. Oh, Juliana, did you get that? Okay, here's Juliana.
All right.
Hey everybody, yeah, so what I took away from Eric Worre was warming up and using basically like using the muscle. So getting used to talking to people, hi, how are you, how's your day? And then when you set your date for the month that you want to enroll your 20 and your 30 days, you've already got 100 people already you've made connections. So when you're posting, when you reach out to them, it feels less awkward. So that's what I've taken it away. So it's just warming it up, creating that conversations and reconnecting to 100 people.
And then when you reconnect, what are you supposed to say?
Hey, how are you? I just seen you were in Fiji. Perhaps, have that conversation. I've been to Fiji. Hey, our kids go to the same school. Hey, I noticed that you're at the gym. You're wanting to lose weight. Hey, how are you? I like your energy. I would go onto their social media page and really have a look at who they are and what they're about. So I come in as a genuine person, especially if it's a new connection or we haven't met in person. If I already know them, perhaps it's a mum from school. Hey, friend, how are you? Just wanted to pop in, say, hey, our kids go to the same school, haven't caught up, hope things are well.
Okay. And then at some point, see how you're going to make them talk about the product or the business, right?
Well, when you launch your business in that 30 days, my date is 15th of March, I've already connected with them. So it's supposed to be a lot easier. I've already made a few connections. I've kind of broken that barrier and opened the conversation. So it's a little bit easier to say, hey, I'm hosting a sip and sample. Are you free? I just thought of you, and I know you play netball kind of concept, or I know you like fitness and our kids go to school. So it's just warming it up, warming that conversation is what I took from Eric Worre.
Okay, good. So that's kind of the idea. Is that kind of where you are with it? Okay.
Let me just make sure that no one's waving frantically to add anything to that. Okay, yeah, that looks like that makes sense, Kim?
Okay, so you all know that the reason you're connecting with people is not just to see how they are, but you have an intention. The purpose of the connection is to see if you can sign them up or get them in the business. Am I right or am I wrong? You're all aware of that. And of course, you know that they are not aware of this, right? They have no idea what your real motivation is. Is that right or not right? You tell me. Do they have a clue why you're doing all this?
No.
I'm just going to monitor so that I want to be sure we're all on the same page, because what I'm going to tell you.
Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box or give a nod or a shake, whichever.
Okay,
Yep.
so you're reaching out with a purpose in mind, which is in the end to sell them, to pardon the expression, right? If you want them to come to your thing, you want them to buy, right? So we want to sell them something, the product, the program, or the business. Am I right? Say yes. Only they don't know this. And at some point, you suppose they're going to find out that at the end of this whole sequence of reaching out and all this, that this came at the end of it. Do you think that some of them might feel like, well, gee, was this the whole purpose of the Connect, is to do this? How many of you think there might be some people who would feel like that?
Yes.
Right? And say, well, so this is why you did all this, so we could do this. So number one, many people have, particularly the women, have said, I don't want to feel manipulative. I don't want to feel like, I'm taking advantage, these kinds of things. And sometimes if this is the path that you follow, you can't help really. But when the moment of truth comes and you invite them to your sip and sample or do whatever it is you're doing, there will be people who feel like that was the whole purpose of that whole routine. And some of them don't feel very good about that, right? Are we yes or no? So, you know what? That's something I've really never done. But I did other things and because of the solution I'm going to offer you and what you could do instead, that you could do tomorrow. I mean, why wait 3 weeks to see if somebody's going to do something when you can find out in one message who's going to be a no, right? Because by the time you get to your 5th message now and you say, well, I thought of you, like the gal was saying, you've got a lot of good energy. I thought of you, I'm having this thing at my house. That's like 3 weeks away. And if the person says, well, yeah, but I don't really, don't have an interest in this, I don't have an interest in the issue, you're going to have spent a lot of time to get very few people interested. I just want to make sure that that we're on the same page here with this. Do you agree? Particularly the women that are on the call. Okay.
Lots of nods there, Kim.
Yeah, I just want you to know that one of the reasons that a lot of people have a hard time doing our industry is because this is the kind of thing we're all taught to do. It's not just you. Eric's been teaching that. I've known that kid, the boy, the man. We go way back. We started in the same company together, NSA, water filters. And so what he's teaching has been basically that's what they do in the network marketing industry. It hasn't really changed in 50 years. That is the whole process. But in today's world, things are a lot faster. And you can find out who's in or who's out with 1 or 2 messages. And I'd just like to know if you'd like to see how you do that. So you don't have to go through this whole song and dance. Where at the end, a few people are going to say, you did this whole song and dance. Why don't you just tell me in the beginning what you wanted? Right? I mean, nobody's really that dumb. Are any of you thinking that, oh, wow. Oh, that's why you called me and did all this stuff, because you had this thing to do, right? So I made some slides, and part of them are from something that I did the other day, but I'm going to show it to you because I did something that was really just as unproductive, let me say that, and felt just as bad, but it was different, but the problem was still the same. And I wanted to tell you what that is, and then I want to give you some language for those of you that are texting. I asked you also, if any of you are going to do stuff on the phone, I have some things you can say on the phone to, in less than 60 seconds, have a yay or an nay about the whole thing and be done with it. Wouldn't you just rather have that instead of going on this long journey where you're going all like Candyland or those games, and at the end you fall off the damn board, right? Because you're so tired of it. And all the wrong people are in you. if you want to feel rejected and like a failure, you just go ahead and do that. And I'm just suggesting to try a different path and see how it goes for you. I'm going to connect you with the slides because I'll show you something that happened to us so that I can show you a way of thinking about building your business that where you begin with the end in mind. All of you know, if you've talked to 100 people, has anyone here talked to 100 people ever in your whole career of network marketing? Right? And how many of them said yes of the ones that you talked to? 10? 5? 20? Of 100 people, how many do you have in your business that say, yeah, I'm doing it? Customer or recruit, right? So basically almost nobody. Would you say that's right? Yes? Almost nobody. Okay, none, right? So it's basically almost nobody. So we're just being truthful here. There's no rah-rah. Nobody has time for rah-rah. Rah-rah gets you no money. What makes you money is knowing exactly what the numbers are and then who it is that you want. And then ask for those people and get those people in your business. Otherwise, you won't get it in your lifetime. You'll be 100 years old before you make it, right? So let me show you something here. Let me see if I can do the screen share. And I'll show you something that will make your day a lot easier. And then I'll give the scripts to you as well, needless to say, because I want you to have them. Okay, let's see here. Share. This is the keynote for Jen's group. Okay. Whoop, not this one. I shared the right one here. Hang on, I just made these, so I have to find it. Let's see. Hang on. Okay, yeah, I think this one works. Let me see if you see this. What do you see there?
Back in the day.
All right, you see the one that says back in the day? Okay.
Back in the day before Jen was born.
Before you weren't, right? Yeah, I think I'm on my 30th year in the business. So.
Oh yeah, well I was 15, Kim, before you got into business.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, well, so here.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, I'm going to show you this one.
It's gone skinny, like a skinny white line for me. Is that for anyone else?
How about? Can you guys see this? Resume share. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think my cursor is too big. So back in the day, that refers to the first business I ever did, which was, I think in the late 80s or the early 90s, was the water filter business, a company that Eric was also in. And what we did is, I was in the real estate business when I started, commercial real estate, and I really liked this little water filter. I had seen it. Another professor friend of mine was at a Taekwondo class, and we were having a break of some kind, and the water guys came around with the water, and I saw he had this little water filter, and he was pouring his water through that, and I was a water nut then and now. And so I thought, well, that's pretty cool. Why don't you give me one of those? And he said, oh, I sell them. I said, great, give me one. And then I thought, well, if you sell them, I bet, I know I can sell them. So after some time, he got me the business in the box kit, which was the blue box in those days. And I started selling these water filters to my clients in real estate because I thought this was kind of a cool thing to have. So I'd be talking on the phone. I had a lot of clients, and I'd be talking to, the brokers, the agents, the owners, the tenants, whoever they happen to be, the representatives of the tenants or the title companies. And we would talk to 20 people. This was when I first got started, because the sponsors that I had, one of them was the top guy in the company. He still is the top guy in the company today. He said, Kim, you got to talk to everyone. Talk to everyone, anyone who can fog a mirror. And I thought, well, I never heard of that before. We never did that in real estate, but I figured I've never done this before. And the guy was making at the time like $90,000 a month. And he had just started with his company. So he had, managed to make some money. I mean, I thought that was pretty good. And I figured, okay, great. So let me see if I can add that to my income, right? And so he said, talk to everyone. It's all right, I'll do it. And what would happen is I talked to everyone, and we got 19 out of 20 no's. Can y'all see my little screen there with those images? Right? You see that? 19 out of 20 rejections. I got those. And we get one yes. And we're talking about me here. I am not somebody who takes no's easily at all. So it was like, they said, I said, Jeff, I don't think I want to do this because I think this is a weird way to do business. I just don't like telling everybody and blah, blah, blah. Because they had given you language and here's what to say and yada, yada. And he says, oh, Kim, don't worry. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. And I thought, 19 out of 20 rejections, that is a numbers game. I'm not interested in that at all. I thought it was completely ridiculous. And I told them all, I'm not going to do a business like this. So you can have it. I'm happy the way I am. And so they said, well, you really should figure out how to do this, because everybody gets these numbers. And I thought, how could you make it better? Because I knew I wasn't that bad. I made a lot of money in real estate. We are really good at picking people and matching. And it was like, I thought, I know that I'm not this bad. And there must be something wrong with them, the way they do this business. That's what I figured. It's got to be you. There's something wrong with you because I know there's nothing wrong with me. And so then what we did is we said, okay, what is wrong with all these damn people that are saying no, right? And who are the people that are saying yes? So what we did is we did an analysis of the people that I had spoken to. And we said, okay, so who are the no's and who are the yeses, okay? And we found a very interesting pattern. By the way, when you study the results that you get, particularly from people, both yeses and no's, you get, if you look at the data, it's very interesting to see what you get. So we found that we got two kinds of no's. And I'm telling you this because you're going to get the same ones, exactly the same ones, okay? So here they are. The people who had said no, these 19 out of 20, were either not interested in the solution being offered, right? They didn't think the thing that we had was a problem for them, and they didn't want to deal with it now. See, we may think that we know what they want, but we don't. When you come across to somebody and say, here's what you need, and now let me sell it to you, and most people say, you know what? I got to pick up my kid from school. I'll see you later. You can't come across all pushy like that, right? Because we have in our mind what we want to do and sell them and bring them in. But you see, that may not be what they want. And so I figure that's where one big group of no's is people are not interested in the solution being offered because they don't think it's an issue for them or they don't want to deal with it right now. So for example, in my case with the water, there turned out to be a lot of people who said, I don't really care about the clean water thing. I mean, you may think it's bad water, but if the city says it's good enough for me. So they didn't have an interest in clean water. How are you going to sell them a clean water filter if they don't care about the clean water? They think the city water is okay. Are you with me? Are we getting this? Or they'll say, oh, I don't have any interest in weight loss. And they might weigh 300 pounds and tell you, I don't feel like doing it now. Right? So remember, it's they who have to do this, not you. So they don't really have an interest right now in doing weight loss, in weight loss for themselves, even if they're overweight. Or they may say, I don't really have an interest in extra income.
It's 5 o'clock.
They don't have an interest in extra income. And it's not because they are people who say, no, I don't want more income. Everybody wants more income. God wants more income. Why do you think every Sunday or Saturday or wherever you go to church, why do you think this collection plate goes around? Give me more, give me more. God asks for it every week, every church. Who are you kidding? They're all looking for the handouts. You want to come and feel good every Sunday and confess everything you did? Hand it over. Here's the plate. Put the money in, right? So this is how the world works. You feel good by going there and confess everything and you pay money. That's it. Same thing, go to the movies. You give the movies money, eat popcorn, feel good, and you've traded money for feeling better, right? So people who are intelligent will tell you, no, I don't want extra money right now because I have no time to build a business, because I don't want another job. I want to be either home with the kids. I want to read. I practice Taekwondo. They don't want extra income because they know there's work attached and time and commitment and learning. So smart people will tell you, I don't want that right now. And it isn't because they don't see the vision. It's because they don't want that vision right now, because everybody with brains knows you have to do work. Right? Are we together with this? Mm-hmm. Just because you say and sign up for $500 doesn't mean the money comes rolling in. Have you girls noticed that, and boys? Don't we wish, right? Or they don't have an interest in owning their own business. You can sell all you want. Oh, the business, you're going to have freedom. There is nobody who has freedom in the beginning when they're building a business. You give up the freedom in the beginning. You better totally give it up for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. And then the lights go on. Then it begins to grow. Then you begin to have something. But to get freedom, you must first give it up by building and becoming something where you can offer value to somebody else and solve their problems, and they're doing it for you. You don't get freedom when you on your first day of the business. That's what you strive for, but it won't come in the beginning. You give up your freedom at first in order to get it later. That's why they say you do things you don't want to do now as much as possible so that later you don't have to. This is a true thing, you know, for any business. It doesn't matter what it is. Steve Jobs, the Google founders, all of them are totally and completely consumed by what they do. They change the world not in 2 or 3 hours a week or a day. They sleep it, they live it, they dream about it. That's all that's in their mind, right? Quite different, don't you think? Then, a couple hours a week, sure, you can make 10 grand a week. Yeah, right. I mean, you win the lottery also. Buy tickets. That's all you have to do. Any dummy can do it. Buy tickets, maybe you'll win, right? It's the same attitude. So be prepared for not having a lot of luck. So people, when they say they don't have an interest in their own business, it's many times people who know how much work it's going to take. And right now it's not for them. Doesn't mean never, but it's not today. All right. Or they'll say, yes, I'm interested in more income or a business or weight loss or, you know, whatever you've got. They'll say, yes, they're interested in the transformation. But the option we happen to have is not one that they want. We have to realize we are options to people. So if somebody wants to lose weight, well, I'll give you. They'll say things like this. It's too expensive. What does that mean? Well, it's somebody who thinks that an alternative eating program like what you guys have is too expensive for them. Why? Because they'd rather take pills that are appetite suppressants that you can get at, I don't know, what is it, Walmart or wherever, you know, some CVS or something for $20. Or they'll say, I don't want MLM. I don't want to do it that way. Or they'll say, I don't want to do it now. Or I don't like shakes. I need to chew my food. I mean, have you heard that? Right? So are they the ones for you? Yes or no? Are you going to bang on these people and drag them across the finish line? Is that what you want to do? You want to spend your life doing this? I mean, I sure didn't. So I'm just telling you, okay? So we learned about the values of those who said no and those who said yes. And once we had that, guess what we could do? Right? We had both of these people. So we figured out these patterns of the people who said yes, and this was for the water, and we've done it ever since in all the companies. That's why I build everything to the top, usually in 90 days. I'm hit the top spot, or I'm the #1 recruiter in the company for all the companies I've done. And the last one was last year, a year and a half ago. That's probably time to do it again. So we figured out these patterns of the yeses and the nos, right? Yeah, Jennifer, I know, I'm thinking. So we created these ordered questions and value statements, which we called at the time a little interview crib sheet. See, so we had the questions that would tell us, based on the DNA of those that we had studied, because I couldn't stand all the no's. I just knew I wasn't that dumb, you know, so it's like, no, this is not for me. We're not doing it like this. So we figured these things out, you see, and then we asked those questions before we said anything about the business or the product. Boom, like that. And then what happened is, in most cases, we never had the discussion about the business because we had already said no first, or they deselected themselves. You see, it saves you incredible time and hassle. Plus you're transparent, you're upfront, right? So people would say something like, oh, I'm broke as a joke. You want people like that in your business? I'm broke as a joke. You got to be kidding, right? Or, oh, I can't commit. You want somebody like that? I mean, dragging the wrong people across the finish line. This is not what. So have we decided that you want people in the business from these 100 that want the change so that they will do what it takes? Are we agreed with that? So, I mean, I'll just tell you, we're not going to do this today, but 5 years ago, we automated this interview process and built the software that does that. So now that's how we can bring in 100 people in 2 days and, you know, never talk to almost anybody but the ones who are the right ones to begin with. You know, we get 8 out of 10 in just because we learned how to do this. I don't like the long way around that we used to do in the beginning. I don't want to talk to just any old buddy. Why would you want to do that? Plus, they get mad at the end when they find out you did that whole hullabaloo just to try to sign them up. You could have just done it at the front end. So let me show you how to do that. So instead of presenting to any old 100 people, everybody has to answer some questions first, okay? To get the nose out of the way with one question without any hard feelings and no begging, no nagging, or no rejection, or no feeling failure. So I think I had worked up a little script here thing for you. So then in the end, you know, we would talk to 4 self-selected people. They book a time on the calendar, we interview them, and in our experience, we sign up 1 or 2 of those 4 each time. That's really the bottom line for what we do now. And because they're all pre-screened. See, we've created this little ESS machine, but it's for another session. All right. So let's get to you with your next text message that you're going to send to somebody, okay? So what is a qualifying question that you could use for your 100-person challenge? Shall we do one? All right, we good with this? All right, now remember we've said you want to see if they have a problem that they perceive they have that you can actually help with. So I am one to cut to the chase. So what we did is, here's what I would do if I were doing your 100 contact challenge. This is really exactly what we did to build the card company and the internet marketing company and the weight loss company on text. I built them all on Facebook. Everything with Facebook texting and Facebook posting and Facebook messaging and Facebook lives. And here's what you can consider doing. Just test it, see what happens to you. So you eliminate all the wrong ones in a minute or less. Because if you eliminate all the wrong shoes and they only bring you your size, your color, and your brand, you only try on a few pairs of shoes in the store. Wouldn't you say that's right? Are you agreed with that? Right? You go shopping, you don't try on all the shoes in the store, do you? Men's, women's, children's, night, evening, blah, blah. You say, I want women's, running, Nike, white, size 8, narrow. And they bring you, of all the thousands of pairs of shoes, just the 3 or 4 pair that meet your criteria. Then you try those on and you buy one. Is that right? That's what you're doing with the people. You want to do that with the people? Or you want to keep trying on children's shoes when you're buying for yourself, right? It's like that's, okay. So for texting or messaging, here's what I suggest you do. And you can, I think, I don't use Instagram very much. I don't know if that's the correct IG, that's what that's supposed to be. But if you're texting or Facebook messaging, and I'm talking here, it's probably people that who at least know your name. That's how I would begin that. You don't have to know them very well, but I would begin with those folks. So here's the first thing I write in the text. Lulu, see that? Just the first name. So if I were hitting on Jen, for example, I'd say Jen, and just wait, nothing else. Not another word. Now she's going to say, at some point, well, we know each other pretty well, but let's just do this. So nothing else, right? You wait. And if you look at your Facebook or your text, well, Facebook is easier. If you look, you'll see a little face drops down. You know what I mean? Their little mug drops down and it shows you that they saw it. Do you have those signals over there in Australia too, right? You see that they saw it, but you don't wait just for that. That just tells you that they saw it. What you do is you wait for them to acknowledge with some texting back. Yeah? Yes? So you wait for that. Is that, everybody got that? So this is the only thing you have typed in that window so far. Just the name and the question mark. Nothing else. Could you all do that and not freak out that you're not typing a whole bunch of other stuff and giving them links? This is it. This is what they see in the window. Nothing else. After they acknowledge, right? You type in this piece right here. See this? See that? Question for you. Can you still see the share? Whoop. Can you see the share? Just if you nod, like Mel, I see you over there. If you just nod, yeah. You see where it says question for you? That's it. That is the only thing you type in that window. And you wait for them. You wait for them to, and then they're going to say yes or no. If they never respond, you never complete the conversation. You should have 10 of these going at the same time. We did. Just this. Nothing more. Okay, question for you. Okay, the next thing, after they acknowledge, do you have an interest? This was what I did for the weight loss company. Each one of these will be different depending on your particular take of what you're doing. I use this because this was my particular take. All of you market basically the same product line, but all of you have had different results. All of you come from different places where it's done different things for you. Some of you have your energy back. Some of you don't eat out and don't eat from vending machines anymore. Some of you, you've had all kinds of different things happen because the same product line will have different effects on different people. The same thing based on what's in that person's body and their habits, their lifestyle habits, and what things they eat during the day and sleep and drink and all of that. So it's always going to be different. So my particular words were, do you have an interest in weight loss, cleansing, and energy? Okay. So I would wait for this. Okay. And what's it going to be in most cases? What are the possibilities? Yeah, right? Yes or no, right? Or maybe in the middle. So it was a quick yes or no. If they don't have an interest in that, do you really want to go the whole distance that you've been thinking about? And then you're going to say you want to go to a drip and sip or whatever the hell you call it. I mean, sip and dip, what is it? What did you say it is? What are you doing to the people? Well, sorry, I can't remember. But the point is, you don't have to do that. You don't put your relationship at risk at all. It's over now. It's yes or no. Remember, there's no reason to think that you are so stupid that it takes 100 people to get 3 signed up. That is not the case. It's just you don't know how to get to the point in the beginning, and I'm here to tell you, do it now. Nobody's getting any younger. This is done in 3-4 seconds. Boom. Now, you might have somebody then I would not even bother with the rest of it because you're talking about the product line right now. Of course, you could do a business also, which, we can maybe do next time. But for this makes it easiest because most people are comfortable marketing the product line because you've had it before and after. So you don't have to say that I'm making 10 grand a week if you're not. You can say, I used to be, couldn't get out of bed. I was big as a house. I ate everything at the vending machines over there at work. And now I don't do any of that anymore. And I look hot, right? And then you got your little body and show off like Brooke or whoever's over there or Jennifer looking really good, right? From maybe being, I don't know, whatever you had. So quick yes or no. Now, if they hedge, let me give you a kind of an advanced version of this. It's kind of cool. If somebody says, well, sort of, what do you have? Never answer that question. Never answer, what have you got? What is it? Give me the link. Just always answer the way you want, like a good politician. Don't answer the question being asked. Answer the question that you want to answer. Okay? So you're never giving anybody a link or telling them the name of the company. There are so many fun ways around that, okay? So what you can do is somebody says, well, sort of. You might get a sort of. So then what you could do is you post this. So you say, okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is, I don't care, and 10 is, oh my God, yes. Where are you here? You got this? Can you see this? I'll leave it up so you can copy it down. All right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is, I don't care, and 10 is, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. Where are you here? And then you wait, right? You hit return, and you wait for them to say, okay, what's the rest? What is it? What's the question? And then you have this. Do you have an interest in weight loss, cleansing, energy? On a scale of 1 to 10. And if they say, when we did this approach, anybody who told me a 9 or less, I didn't bother with him. Why? Screw them. I don't want, I want a 10. I want somebody who says, a 10, I'm off the charts on this. Why? Because there's a good chance I can help them. Because the program that I was marketing had offered weight loss. It offered cleansing, which is something I'm really, really keen on. And it offered energy. And those were the 3 things I happened to pick up about it that I happened to care about. Because cleansing is basically fasting. And anything that does cleansing where people don't put more crap into their bodies, even if it's 10 hours a day, is marvelous for the human race. If you had nothing but your fasting your cleansing that you offered, you'd be doing, every person who does it for 90 days, you would transform their complete body and life and brain and clarity and functioning. Just that. Because during that time, there's no crap going in. There's no alcohol going in. There's no, processed foods going in. There's no of the usual sugar going in. There's none of the food-like substances going in for 10 or 12 hours, 3 times a week. You're changing the world with that. If that's all you ever did, holy crap. That's why it's so easy to sell. But you have to go for the values, you see, and not all the jargon. This is the key thing. Why does somebody do cleansing? Well, to clear your brain out. Did you know Steve Jobs? That's what he did almost all the time. He was fasting. Why? Because it puts your brain on superpower. All right, so that's what you would do there. So I used this last year, maybe a year and a half ago. This particular line with the messaging exactly like I gave you. Question? Lulu, Jen, Mel, whoever, Jody, and wait, nothing else. Now notice, and then the sequence that I gave you here, so which is what I would recommend you do immediately. And in 3 days, you'll have all your 100 people and you'll know who has an interest and who doesn't. Then you can go from there. And you've been upfront. They know that you're talking about this, and then you can ask your next set of questions, right? Yeah, I'm a 10, no kidding, really, right? So there you have somebody, and then you're going to go, well, what do I say next? What am I going to say next? Because they said yes, 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 right? And then there are a series of questions that you can ask, and we teach a class on this, but I can give you a couple of them. One of them might be, for example, so somebody says, yeah, man, I'm totally like we had somebody who said my whole life. Do I have an interest in? Yes, 10. I've had it my whole life. So my next question was, well, great. So you might think, is this the time to jump and say, oh, I got this great program. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You think it is? Probably not, because we're inside their little problem right now. So you want to just step back always and be inside their brain because they just said, oh, my whole life. Really? So what have you done your whole life to try to deal with this? What have you done? And you text that. What have you done? Right? And the person goes, oh, Kim, I did this. I did that. I went to therapists. I did 15 different weight loss programs and yada, yada, yada. And I would ask her, so, and you're still looking for a way to achieve this. Is that right? Yeah, I still am. Right? And then guess what I would do? Now I start to throw in the warnings. You never want to be an easy lay. Oh, did I say that? What I mean is you don't want to look, you need to call out your own issues first. See, let me tell you, here's a warning. Okay. I don't know if I did this for you or not. Let me look. Okay. Now, again, what I'm showing you here is my personal take on the company and the product line that I was doing based on my reaction to it and my values around it. You would do yours, see, and that's why you want to customize that. That's why we have classes for this. But for now, I think, you can get enough from this to learn how to do it. So I would tell them, look at the black, okay? I say, well, let me tell you, this was Arlene. I say, let me warn you about this. And she goes, what? Because I told her I might have something. I might, yeah. And she goes, well, what have you got? And I said, well, let me warn you first. This is for people who know they have to get off regular restaurant and supermarket foods. And then I just leave it, right? And then does that sound like you? Why? Because to me personally, if people don't get off regular restaurant and supermarket foods, you are never going to change your life. You're going to be filling crap in, crap out. You keep eating the crap foods, sugar, processed, food-like substances. If you don't get off these foods, you definitely will be big and obese, and you won't be able to think, and you're going to be sick, dumb, and poor is what you're going to be.
Hey, Kim.
To me, that's what we told them. Yeah.
Hey, can I just get you to clarify? So you aren't telling everyone on this call to go and send exactly this message, right? Because
Personalize it. See the red? You personalize this for your values and your reasons. And one of the reasons we teach classes like the SS program is to help you customize this exactly for you, for what your experience was. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
I chose this language and this stuff because that was what mattered to me. I told them you have to, it's for people who know they have to get off the regular foods, right?
And that means we have to like go through a little bit of brain strain to actually think about this and how it applies to us so that it feels really good and genuine and authentic when it comes from us. We can't just copy and paste what someone else is doing because that's never going to work.
Never. But you get the point, right? So what you can copy paste is Lulu ? Pause. Wait for the thing. Question for you? Pause. Wait for the thing. And then you can ask your question. Do you have an interest in yada, yada, yada? And the words are very important because if you say, do you have an interest in making money with my fabulous isogenics company? You basically, that's the end of that. You've basically done this, you kind of, you know how they do, you show your whole, you want to keep the kimono closed. Notice in these sequences, nobody knows the name of the company. Why not? Because it's irrelevant. You may think, and your company may think, all the companies, they all think that their company name is godlike, but it isn't. To the other person, they're looking for the transformation. And when you have sold the idea that, yeah, you know what, I can probably help you with that. If can you get off the regular food? Yep. Can you stick with something for 90 days? Yep. This is going to run you $500 to $600 and you're going to have to pay it 3 months in a row. Can you stick with that? Yep. Well, what else is there? Now they don't care. And by the time you get to the sign up, they go, oh, it's isogenics. Yep, that's what it is. Okay, I'm signing up. Because they've pre-sold. There's no denying anything. It's just you're looking for someone who wants the outcome, the transformation that you know you can offer with your program. So you see, that's why nobody cares about the name of the product. And when you start telling people, oh, I'm isogenics, what happens is, number one, you lose all the mystery. You've spoiled it. But number two is, in today's world, they just go look it up on Facebook or in Google, and you're done.
Kim,
Kim,
what do you say? What do you say to people if you get to the, they're like, yep, and then they get to the sign up part, and then they go, oh, is it isogenics? Oh no, I don't want to do that. Because
you'd have to. What you'd ask. One of the questions we ask is, what kinds of programs have you done? What have you done to lose weight before? And because I ask that, and I'll ask, have you ever bought products from, a customer-oriented, established network marketing company? I ask that first. And would you buy a product from an established customer-oriented network marketing company if they really worked for you the way they've worked for us? So you see, I've got it all planned, babe, because I know what the hits are. So we plan it all, so we never get no, because I cannot stand it. So that's what we do. See, and so if you learn the questions, you customize it to yourself. It takes a little doing to do this. And that's why we have classes, to teach you how to do it. And what I thought I would do is, because I know some people want to see kind of what that is. We did something kind of special. I asked Jen, I said, maybe I should create a Facebook page, because our classes are pretty pricey. I'm telling you that we don't do cheap dates. So, and you should have enough here to totally get yourself going, But we are looking for big transformations in people where you totally change how you do this. And work it so that it goes really fast, and you build it up in 90 days, not 90 years or 10 years or something, because you didn't know how you're supposed to do it, you see. And nobody's mad at you either, by the way. If you go to this link here, I think this should work. I could put the Facebook link here, but it may not show up. If you go to this maxout.com, show me, you see it there. You can type it in there. You should come to a green page. And if you fill that in, I think it asks for a name and email, maybe your Facebook page. And what will happen is you can go to our Facebook page where we show you what this program is in case you have an interest in it, okay? And there are a number of people that are in the program already that are from your company. It's a mixed company program, but we have several people that are in the program, like Brooke and like Beck Gear, and quite a few Isagenix people actually that are in there, and we've added a couple of them to the group. So in case you have questions about it, you can hear from people that are in your own company. Whether or not it's something you ought to spend your money on, okay? So what I can do is I'll give you the Facebook link as well, because we asked for your email, but not because I plan to email you. I have no time to email anybody. In fact, we're just dumping basically our email list, because what's the purpose, you know? We know how to find the right people. So we do everything with text, and it's very fast. So what I can do is, you know, Jen, I don't know how to, could I just give you the link and you can put it in there?
Yep,
this is
for
the
sure.
Facebook group. Okay, so this is a Facebook group we just set up really for members of this call, for people that came to this call. And you can sign up for it or apply to get into it. And then the purpose of that group is to show you how the two classes that we have, they're called the Yes S, because it gets you to yes. That's what it does. There's one that's totally automated, which is a big program, big advanced, and you know, really to redo yourself if you're all in for doing this. And then we have one that's a mini version of that, which is part of that program, which is less, but they're still both not cheap dates. It's not like $59. And that's why, if you want to see how that works, just sign up for that group and get yourself in there and feel under no obligation whatsoever. You know, a lot of people teach in this industry that you shouldn't spend money. You should just learn it from your upline. To me, that is, I don't know that I can think of a word that comes to me. But if you want to build a business, there is no one that you should not be learning from. And whether you pay them or not, remember, you're trying to transform yourself from somebody who signs up almost nobody and feeling really crappy about yourself to somebody that makes people come to you because you know you've got something that has worked for you. And if you want to stay that way because your upline, or, I mean, we heard the same thing at all our companies. You know, why should you buy anything from Kim, or why should you buy Eric's program, or, you know, why should you buy? What you do is you look to see, what do I not know how to do? And I want to learn how to do that. Who is doing that better than anyone I know? And there's only one thing I know how to do better than anybody that I know. Really, just one thing. I know how to make people come to me. Boom, that's it. I do that better than anybody that I know. In fact, I was going to challenge Eric and say, Eric, let's go out and have a contest, 24 hours, see who can bring in the most people. Without using our name, without using any, none of that stuff. Just let's see who can do it. Because I got this process down to a T. That's why we're good at it. But you see, it came from being disgusted by this right here. I thought, that is friggin' crazy. I am not that dumb. What is wrong? And then it wasn't really until we did this. Who are they? Who are the yeses? Who are the nos? And we got those characteristics of those people. And we learned what they were. And that's when we could see the pattern and then ask the questions which elicited those things in the first place. And nobody, it's like having the wrong size shoe. If you're trying on all size 8s and the guy comes with a 7 and they don't fit, do you get really mad at the shoe and go, oh, you stupid shoe, you don't fit? Or do you get mad at the salesperson, you just set the shoe aside and you get the next one, you see? So once you understand what it is that people are, you know, what you're dealing with, it kinds of no's and yeses, it makes it incredibly easy to do away with this. And, you know, when we finished with this project, when we were done, it's out of 20 people here that we got 19. When we were done with this, we would talk to 4 people and get 1 or 2 yeses. And that's what you can do. There's nothing that I know that you cannot do, because you know most people say no. So why do they say no? Well, all the reasons, too expensive, blah, 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 blah. So what do you say when it's too expensive? Well, you got the wrong person. The Range Rover is too expensive. Give me a Mini Cooper. What? Duh. So do that. Remember, the world is full of people. They're all different. They all have different values and different ideas, and we all think we know everything. right? Some people love Trump, some people love Hillary, some people love network marketing companies, some people don't. So you find that all out, and we do it on automatic with the ESS program. But you can do it by hand, by knowing these questions that I've given you, quite a few of them, right? And you can also do it with the mini program if you want. You can customize this to you. What do you think about this approach to cut down the time it's going to take and to be transparent from moment one what you're doing? What do you think, Miss Mel? Why don't you pop off your microphone? Let me hear. See, can I unmute you? Yeah, I think I can. No? Can't hear you. Here. There.
There we go.
Can you unmute Mel? Let me hear. Okay, girlfriend, what's the story with you?
I love this kit, as I've had it to you before, and I think this approach removes all the weirdness, all the I'm going to talk to you to get something out of you. You're upfront. It's a method that we can easily duplicate through our team as well. So thank you so much for giving your time to all of us today.
That's great. Good, good, good. Well, that's the whole idea. What do you think, Jody Slade? Talk to me. Let me hear.
Fantastic, because when you approach people, how we've sort of been taught and what Eric suggested didn't resonate well with me. I like to be upfront and be an authentic person. I present that way to everyone who knows me. So, yeah, that definitely allows you to do that and keep that authenticity and your values, I suppose. So thank you so much. It's been valuable, really valuable.
It's really good. Okay, let me ask Sandra Castle. What about you, girl? I see you beaming and typing like crazy over there. How does this suit you, given your own story and where you want to go?
Yes, thank you so much, Kim. I've absolutely loved it. I've got pages and pages of notes and screenshot some slides and things like that, because I'm actually ready to start my Blitz this Sunday with my husband, and it's just like helped me with the direction we're going to go for his network. And it's completely different, you know, that whole Lulu question mark. I love it. How many times do you spend all this time writing an absolutely beautiful spiel and you get nothing back? And the no's, we're all subject to no's, and they hurt no matter what you say. So I just love it that you're not going to be putting much effort in to get your no, and then you can keep moving on. It's been so valuable. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Kim,
yes.
Can I just ask you to talk about something? I think when it's something about this state of busyness where we have all these connections out there that are actually really fluffy, but they kind of feel good and they make us feel good because we're busy connecting. Whereas this approach, we're going to find out much quicker who's in and who's out. And sometimes that feels like the approach isn't working because we're getting to the no's so fast, right? But actually we just don't have a whole lot of fluff out there. Do you know what I mean? Can you talk a bit about that?
Yes, when you, in fact, we have a couple people. By the way, is Marty Pine, is he a member of yours, Jen?
Not sure. There's too many. I don't know everyone's name.
Okay, but if you're Marty Pine, does anybody know him? He just asked to get into the Make Them Come to Me group, and I just want to be sure he's one of yours.
I'll have a look. He might have left the call already if he was on. I'll check it out for you. Okay, good. Yeah, because we have Did you put that? Were you able? Oh yeah, Marty's still here. He's on the call. Yep.
Marty. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, I just want to, we're very selective and we like to say no first a lot, but not to you, buddy. Not to you. Yeah.
Can you just talk about that? Because what I can see is people are going to go send these messages and they're going to get some quick results. And those results are sometimes going to feel like not a lot of yeses, and they feel better having 100 fluffy things sitting out there that are still open instead of actually closing it off quicker. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, and I don't want people to throw their hand in the air and go, oh, this doesn't work because no one said yes. What's just actually no.
Oh, nobody's, of 10 people that you do this with, let me just tell you what the expectations ought to be. 1. Okay. Why? It's like if I'm selling Range Rovers and I say, Jen, yep. Question for you? Yep. And how, if I were selling Range Rovers, I might say, of course, I'd get a great deal. So I'd say, are you into Range Rovers?
Yeah,
right?
I'd say no.
She'd say no. So am I going to cry? Oh, she's not into the damn cars that I happen to like, right? Are you into Jags? No. Are you into Jeeps? Yes. But you see, I only have one thing to offer. Are you into Range Rovers? Let's say if I'm marketing those. Or say tennis, like I want to come visit, right? So Jen, you into tennis? What's she going to say?
No.
Right? So now I'm not coming. Sorry. Right? It's like, it's the way the world is.
And then, Kim, someone's asked.
Mostly knows, and not because of you or it, but because people are different. That's why we go to Facebook where there are 3 billion people. You figure there got to be 500 in there somewhere. And when you automate it, you can ask all these questions, but when you get really good and you automate it, like with the Yes software, like what we do, you model that, then you go, brrr, boom, yes. Brrr, boom, yes. That's what happens.
And
we're not with all the no's that you don't hear, right? Yeah.
And Kim, there's so many things that we're going to have to do some more calls, because I want to do a call on your take on duplication, because I love your take on that, and I know it's something everyone's confused about. But also on follow-up. So Jackie's just popped in the thread. Do you follow up the no's?
No. Why would you? Leave them alone. They're not into Range Rovers. What are you going to say? Why not? Don't you know they're better than what you have? You see, then you come across like the religious zealots who, the thing about humans is we all think our opinion is the best. What I'm giving you here is a model that I have used that got me from quitting my first company to building the last 3, all on Facebook in less than 90 days to the top of everything. That's my model. I'm offering the model to you to test it and see if it works better than what you're doing right now. That's it. So it's always modeling. We all model what people ahead of us who have achieved what we want are doing. So that the yeses and nos are going to be the same. You're still going to get out of 100 people. If you get 5 who sign up, that'll be great. My goal for you is to get those 5 within a few hours, because if you send out 100 messages like this, say you send out, 10 a day, in 10 days you're done. And you're asking the same question for every single person, right? Whatever your version is. And if you want help, like I said, come to the Facebook group and we can talk about maybe giving you some help if you're up for it in one of our paid classes.
And Kim, one more question Christine's asked. When we have so many solutions to offer, do you ask again with more solutions if they say no to the first 3?
I wouldn't. I would take your first pass and get the people who are interested most in that thing that has mattered the most to you. Because you basically are in the weight loss business, right? Cleansing and giving people energy. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line, isn't it? Right? So you can certainly phrase it so that you have your story, but I wouldn't do that, at least not for the first pass. You could then come back to the person and say you have a second angle. Let's say you say you have, let's say you say for the first one, do you have an interest in, say, weight loss, cleansing, energy? And they say no. Say, okay, great, catch you later. Because I'm just looking for people who are 10s right there. So no problem. Then the next pass, it might be next month that you might say, do you have an interest in getting off fast food and restaurant food, right? Or do you have an interest in learning how to do cleansings so that you get your body back in shape? Do you have an interest in that? So, and I would do those not like one day after the other, but I would stage them a month. So 1 month you do 1 pass, do your 100 people. Next month, say, Lulu, question for you. Then you have the second pass. Wait a month, right? And you'll get different people who say yes to different results that they are looking for at this time, and you offer them the same program, right?
So Kim, Christine has asked you, I think you've answered this question, and hopefully Christine will comment if you haven't, but Christine's asked, do you mix in income opportunity with product solutions?
I wouldn't, but the way you do it, when you did it, don't start with, don't mix everything all up, because you're going to confuse the other person's mind, so you don't do that. If the person says, yeah, I'm really interested in that, and they really like the whole thing, and you've asked them, have you bought from a network marketing company before? I mean, there are a series of questions that come after that they're saying yes. So you qualify the network marketing side of it. You know, are they able to stick to something? You know, we have a series of qualifying questions that you want to ask before you say, plus, can you stick, and can you manage? You know, you're replacing grocery money here, so you're looking at $400 or $500 a week or whatever the number is. Go high, don't go cheap. Look for higher quality people. Don't be looking to get the bottom fishing. Don't do that. The bottom dwellers are, that's where, why do you think they have Walmart? That's for those people. That's not you. You should see yourself as the Gucci or the Prada of what you're doing. Get off the floor and get off the bottom and get off the cheap and the free and the blah, blah. You want to change, you got to make a big move. This is it. You ought to be glad it's not $5,000 instead of 500. That's what I did. You changed your whole life. What are you, crazy? For $500 you don't want to do that? But see, that's what's in my mind. I say, okay, great, maybe next time, see you later. And 5 years later, they're in the same crappy place financially, mentally, physically, and their life is still a mess. You can't build a business if your life is a mess. And you can't build your life if your health isn't good. And you can't build your health if you don't stop eating crap food and get off alcohol and sugar and all this stuff that messes with your brain. That's what you offer, the very core of a possible happy life. That's what I sell. That's what you, hello? Right? Who cares if it's raspberry or chocolate? Crap. Put it in your body so you fix it up, right? So when people whine about these small things, you know, they're not really serious. Say, you know, it's probably not for you. Learn to say no first. My favorite thing. But I got to go. Got another call. See you later. Love you. Bye. And off you go. Bam. Boom. Hang off the phone. Cut it off. Start again. This is how you do it. Right? And you love them all from a distance. That's it. You're always there for them. Never whine and complain. And for God's sakes, never blame them that they don't see the vision or something's wrong with them. This is a very bad thing to do. Then you get like the religious zealots, and pretty soon you're telling people they're less than you, and that goes from that step to persecuting those people. This is not where you want to go. Just leave people and their choices alone. You just want to love on the ones that say yes. That's how I spend all my time, loving on my students. I don't care about anybody else. They're not my students. Right? That's what you do with your babies, your downline.
Thank you, Kim. You are so awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the link to that Facebook group up in the Success Starts Here group so that you, in case you didn't get it in the chat thread there. If you want to, if Kim resonates with you, if that sort of style feels good to you, I know it's what feels good to me. It's basically how I've built my business right from the start, because I just didn't want to do any of the stuff that we get told to do. And then I found Kim. I was like, oh my gosh, I found someone who gets it. This is so cool. So I'll put that link up. If you like Kim's style, jump in and you can get some more of her in there. Her stuff's everywhere. You can go to her page. Kim, you've got your own Facebook page, right? They can, if they just look up
you can go to facebook.com and then /kim.klaver. And, you know, we are doing couple special things for you guys. Depending on, we own, these classes are very limited, just so you know. We only take one student a day. So we have room for 3 in the mini program from your group and 2 in the main program. So if you're interested in that and you want to get personal help to do all of this, get into the Facebook group and let us know where you are and what you need. Most of you probably should, if you're going to get some help, start with the smaller one. so that you can work your way up. But if you know you're totally ready, then you can take one of the two bigger spots. But you have to get into the Facebook group and see if we can help you. For those of you who want some extra help to, customize this for you.
And Kim, for people who want the free stuff, obviously it's fun following your Facebook page and your book. Your free orange book. Oh, your YouTube.
Yes, as a matter of fact, yeah, why don't you put that link in there? It's going to be...
Can you send that to me and I'll put that up there as well? Yeah, that's great, that book. It just...
Totally, yeah, you can get it on... There's lots of freebie stuff. Here, let me give it to you right now. I'll give you this.
I'll chuck it up after the call because... and Josh, yes, I will post the recording as long as it saves to my computer, which nearly always does.
Jen, I just sent you freeorangebook.com. Now, by the way, did you all hear, I asked Jen, are you into Range Rovers? What did she say? Who remembers what she said? Did she say yes or no? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Let me see on the video screen. Okay, am I crying? Do you see me crying? You see me hating on her? Do you see her saying, oh my God, I had to say no to Kim. I don't know what I'm going to do. Do you see her bawling her eyes out? It's over. That's it. You think I'm going to ask her again? Jen, you into Range Rovers? Am I going to ask her again? What do you think? So would you ask her again? Hasta la vista, baby, right? You're looking for the 2 or 3 who say yes. And when you automate this, you know what happens? You don't even hear it. They book a calendar date with you on your calendar. And you see you got 10 people on the booking calendar this week who want to talk to you, who have passed all those questions. That's how we did it. The last time too, Jen, as you know. Yes. Yes, I may do it again.
I think it's time. It's time to do it again, Kim.
I could just, because I like you guys, I could do it again. Okay, cool. So, fun.
Awesome.
I will see you guys later. And if you have comments, feel free to comment in that group, the Success Starts Here group, about your experience for the call. That would be good because you'll help other people. They'll watch the video. And I have a YouTube channel also. Let me give it to you so you got it, and then you can stick it in there.
Send it to me, Kim, and I'll put it all up in the Facebook group because
perfect.
The chat thread won't show on the recording anyway.
Okay, cool. I'll put it into your group, and we already have a bunch of you coming into that Facebook group. That's great. Remember, the group is to help you decide which class and if you should even get the class to help you. Okay.
Yeah, and we can put the free stuff. We'll put the free stuff around. You'll find it. We'll make sure you do.
Yeah. We'll give you all the free stuff. We have a lot of YouTube and the Orange Book. Those are good things. And I also have a podcast. I'm on iTunes and have a podcast called You Unplugged. And I'll give you that link as well. So we have a lot of people listening, a lot of downloads for that.
Awesome.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Kim. We'll get you back to do a call on duplication one day soon.
Oh yeah. It's that's pretty weird. But the thing is, remember that nobody can duplicate your style and your experience. What you duplicate is putting people into those, like into your binary plan. Because if you put 2 people in there, whether I put 2 people in or Jen puts 2 people in, we both paid exactly the same. That is a system that you duplicate, filling up those circles. How you do it is totally up to you and is completely based on your personality, your experience. You can dance on the corner. You can sit like an introvert and just call people on the phone. The ways that you do it, leads, talking, singing. We had a minister who used to sing on the corner. Oh my God, he'd always have a crowd around. And then he'd sell them the network marketing thing. You know who that was? You may not know him. I think he died before your time. Mark Yarnell.
Oh yeah, I know the name.
Minister. Oh yeah, 30 grand a month. You want to make it? The Lord said, and tell you people came. Would I do that? Are you nuts? No way. But did he score and get people in? Yes. He wrote a great review of one of my old tapes called How to Build a Giant Heap with or without your friends, family, or neighbors. And it's on one of my walls because it was just so wonderful, because my work is so different than the way they do it, So you see, there are all these different ways. So you don't duplicate how anybody does anything. You don't want to be me or Jennifer. Be you, and just whatever you got to do to put those people in those damn circles and get them in there so you get 10 on each side and you're done. Or in fact, it's not even 10, right? It's only 5. You only need 5 of these consultants on either side, and you are done. And most of you don't even need that because you got another side built for you. when I hear that, I just go bananas. I mean, my God, you go 3 or 4 at once. What are you waiting for? Right? Instead of talking to 100 people, right? You text 2 lines, and that leaves you 5, and there you are. 1 or 2 will say yes. Wouldn't you rather do that? Now you tell me how old you want to be before you hit it. Jeez. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Kim. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Bye.